This video provides information on changes that will be brought forward for City Council's consideration with regards to permitting 4 to 6 story residential development within the Transit Development Area, or TDA. An action identified in the Housing Action Plan is to permit 4-story multiple unit development within 800 meters of the bus rapid transit system corridors. The TDA boundary is based on the following criteria. It includes the previously identified corridor growth area, is about a 10-minute walk from a planned BRT station, and is contained within a hard boundary or edge, such as an arterial or collector street or the river. This is to address potential future development challenges, such as fragmented lots. The proposed approach will break this area down into 3 sub-areas and is based on corridor land use. We will go through each of these areas individually. Areas shown in yellow are areas where multiple unit dwellings with a permitted height of 15 meters or more are currently permitted. Multiple unit dwellings are not proposed in areas shown with red dots. The areas are not suitable for residential development and include industrial areas, lands which are currently in use for agricultural research purposes, parks, cemeteries, and other similar uses. Should these areas be deemed appropriate for residential development in the future, permitting 4-story multiple unit dwellings will be considered at that time. Lands that are designated as station mixed use and corridor mixed use, shown as dark purple on the map, are located closest to the planned bus rapid transit routes. They are intended for medium-density development that incorporate transit-oriented principles and a broad range of uses, including residential development. In July 2023, City Council approved zoning districts specific for the corridor growth area. These new zoning districts are intended to align with the objectives of the corridor land use designations, as well as goals of the corridor transformation plan. Proposed development standards for multiple unit dwellings will align with the development standards for the CM1 Corridor Mixed Use 1 district. The purpose of the CM1 zoning district is to provide for residential and mixed use development along major transportation corridors in the corridor growth area. Within this district, a multiple unit dwelling up to 16 meters or 4 stories is permitted on a 15-meter site or a 50-foot site. To accommodate more design flexibility, support more density within these areas, and to better align these areas with the policy direction to support varying density within the neighborhood, administration is proposing the maximum height for a multiple unit dwelling be increased to 22 meters or 6 stories. Lands that are designated as corridor residential are located within the corridor growth area near the proposed bus rapid transit routes. They are intended to provide a transition of densities from station mixed use to corridor mixed use. Generally, this zone is intended to capture all areas appropriate for residential development within the corridor growth area, which are not designated as station mixed use and corridor mixed use. Proposed development standards for multiple unit dwellings will align with the development standards for the CR2 Corridor Residential 2 district. The purpose of the CR2 zoning district is to provide intensification opportunities and support infill development. This zoning district was originally intended for development on corner sites and on sites adjacent to arterial and collector streets and on sites adjacent to an existing commercial, institutional, or mixed-use zoning district. Within this district, a multiple unit dwelling with more than 7 units is permitted with a maximum height of 12 meters on a 21-meter or 75-foot site. To accommodate 4-story multiple unit dwellings, administration is proposing that the CR2 zoning district be amended to permit multiple unit dwellings with 5 units or more with a maximum height of 15 meters or 4 stories on a minimum 15-meter site. To enable development of multiple unit dwellings up to 4 stories on lands that are not designated as station mixed use, corridor mixed use, or corridor residential, administration is proposing that multiple unit dwellings up to 4 stories be permitted as of right along arterial and collector streets. The proposed development standards will align with the CR2 zoning district. However, the minimum site width will be 21 meters or 75 feet. Multiple unit dwellings will also be required to provide for either an increased setback and step back to ensure development considers the impacts on neighboring properties. The proposed changes will be brought forward to a Municipal Planning Commission meeting in May of 2024, followed by a public hearing meeting in June of 2024. There are a number of ways to stay informed about the Housing Accelerator Fund initiatives. You can visit saskatoon.ca/engage for regular updates, or to sign up for the Housing Accelerator Fund e-newsletter, you can go to saskatoon.ca/housing action plan and click the Subscribe for Project Updates button. And finally, you can also send any questions to zoningbylaw@saskatoon.ca.